Most do-it-yourself gardener soaps don't actually clean your hands. If your hands still look dirty after washing them twice, you're gonna wanna try this. Today we're making a gritty do-it-yourself gardener soap. I am absolutely obsessed with this soap. One of my biggest struggles have been getting my hands clean when I come back in from working in the garden. You really need that extra grittiness, but I also wanted to formulate this so it had some hydrating aspects to it because we don't want a soap that's just going to dry out your hands. It's all about the balance when you're making a do-it-yourself project. And the best part about this soap is not only is it beginner friendly, it only takes a few minutes to make it. So you might want to get started right now. What we're gonna need to make our gardener soap is melt and pour soap, right? We need the soap base. That's what makes it so beginner friendly and so easy to make. We're gonna have to use some pumice powder. So this is actually our secret weapon in the soap. It's what's gonna go ahead and bring that scrubbiness and that really cleansing feeling to the soap. Now remember when I talk about balance, sweet almond oil is gonna prevent losing a bunch of moisture from your hands, so it's gonna bring some moisture back in. And then we're gonna have vegetable glycerin. This helps bring water to your skin. A little bit of fragrance oil and some mica powder just to make the soap adorable. We're gonna start by cutting up our melt and pour soap. What you wanna do is you wanna cut it into small, even-sized chunks. The reason why we do this is we want it to melt at roughly the same time and at the same temperature. Now you wanna be careful not to overheat this. Most people go wrong and they think that you can just heat your melt and pour soap up as much as you would like and it doesn't make a difference. If you burn your melt and pour soap, what happens is the texture of it changes. It kind of becomes really rubbery and it also doesn't wash as well. So you're not gonna get as good of a wash with your soap if you burn the melt and pour soap in the microwave. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and put it in the microwave at like a 10-second interval. Then I'm gonna pull it out of the microwave, give it a very good mix, and pop it back in if you need to. Now you don't have to do the full 10 seconds. Maybe on the last go, you only have to put it in there for 5 seconds. Just make sure that it's melted without it becoming overly too hot. Now that our melt and pour soap is fully melted, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna add in the sweet almond oil and the vegetable glycerin. We're gonna give this a very good mix. Once we have that mixed up, we'll go ahead, we'll add our fragrance oil and give it another really good mix. Now right here is the part where people make the biggest mistake. When you add your pumice powder, along with our mica powder, you wanna go ahead, you wanna add it, and you wanna give it a really good mix. Now, sometimes the mica powder doesn't want to mix in for you. You always can grab a thing of rubbing alcohol, spray the top, and it'll break the surface tension, make that mica powder mix in very easily. The reason why I'm taking my time in mixing this is very strategic. We want the soap base to cool down so it becomes thicker. So the hotter the soap base is, the more liquid it is, the colder it is, the more solid it is. We want this to thicken up. That way the pumice powder doesn't sink to the bottom of your mold. By mixing it more, you can kind of get a gauge for where you're at with how thick the soap is. Now I like to continue to mix until I'm roughly at this consistency. So it's not quite as liquid as it was when it first came out of the microwave, but it's also liquid enough that we can still pour it. We're gonna carefully pour this into our mold. And then you come in with the rubbing alcohol and spray the top of the mold just to pop any bubbles that might have formed. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna leave this on the counter to cool completely. Once it's cooled, go ahead, pop your soap out of the mold and tell me those aren't so darn cute. I am absolutely obsessed with how they look. And the best part is the pumice powder is mixed all the way through. It didn't all sink to the bottom of the mold. So no matter when you use this soap, it's really gonna have that scrubby power. Now, no video would be complete without a demonstration. So go ahead and grab your soap. We're gonna wet our hands in our soap and then you just use it like a scrubby soap. So go ahead. I notice like around my thumbs tends to be a real sticking point for dirt around the nails. I clean that all up, and as you can see, it works just like a gardener soap. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I've been having so much fun playing out in the garden, but my hands have really taken a beating. So I wanted to make a soap that had a scrubbing power, but also didn't dry my hands out. I swear my hands are more dry and more tore up in the summer than they were all winter long. So we have to do something to combat that. Now, if you're looking for any substitutions or things that you can change, I do have more information on my blog, which is summerrain.website, so feel free to hop over there. And if you haven't done so already, be sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're having as much fun creating as I am.